the table, it's that time again. With a cup of Colombian, we're ready to begin. From Armenia's heart to the world we will send stories, laughs, and love with each friend we commend. Every Sunday morning at 11 o'clock sharp, we brew the conversation like strumming a harp. Coffee time, come and share your heart. With every sip, it's where friendships start. From chats and laughter to joy that shines, we're all a community sipping coffee, feeling fine. Live guests at the mic, sharing tales so sweet. The pulse of Colombia, the rhythm and the beat. Across the chat, our families unite. With every word spoken, we'll turn day into night. Pour a cup of passion, let the stories flow. In this cozy corner, we watch our friendships grow. Coffee time, come and share your heart. With every sip, it's where friendships start. From chats and laughter to joy that shines, we're all a community sipping coffee, feeling fine. Let's get to the moments. Around the table, it's that time again. With a cup of Colombian, we're ready to begin. From Armenia's heart to the world we will send stories, laughs, and love with each friend we commend. Every Sunday morning at 11 o'clock sharp, we brew the conversation like strumming a harp. Coffee time, come and share your heart. With every sip, it's where friendships start. From chats and laughter to joy that shines, we're all a community sipping coffee, feeling fine. Live guests at the mic, sharing tales so sweet. The pulse of Colombia, the rhythm and the beat. Across the chat, our family.
Every Sunday morning, the sun shines bright. Grab your favorite mug, let's take flight. With the Coffee Time podcast, we gather around, talking about Colombia, where love is found. Expats share their stories, dreams unfold. In this coffee triangle, adventures bold. Oh, coffee time, bring us together. With laughter and love, we'll face any weather. From the mountains high to the valleys wide, in this coffee hug, we find our pride. From Medellin to Cali, Cartagena's shores, exploring this country, we open new doors. Tips and tales shared, we laugh and we learn.
Good morning and welcome back to the channel, Grand Colombia, and welcome to another Coffee Time Live. And it looks like everything's working. You never know. So today it's going to be a bit of a roaster for us. Right now it's actually getting a little warm. It says it's 78 degrees, but I turned the fan on to get a little air movement in here. And we're supposed to have a high of 82, which for us, it doesn't get much higher than that. I did get up to 84 once, I think it was. A low of 64. So I guess we're at the beginning of a heat wave today. I don't know. Thank you, Owen. I appreciate that. You never know. It's always a crapshoot. B. Nick, how you doing? Juka, hello, greetings from Finland. How are you? I got two topics today. It wasn't enough. One wasn't enough, so I did two. Let's see. I want to remind you, and I have it pinned on the comments. So if you look at the comments, look at the top where it's pinned, you'll see a web address is studio.rumble.com. That's the link where if you have a desktop or a laptop, you can send me a video message. It can be a question, it can be a comment, it can be an idea. And it's the kind of thing that I can actually, at the beginning of these videos where I go over things, I can post it up. So instead of it just being a comment, you know, in the chat, you can send it. So you send it anytime during the week, and I'll take a look at it and put it up in the next coffee time. Nobody's done it yet, but I would like to do it. So I'm going to start reminding people, and I got it pinned in the comments here. How about them bills? Yeah. Well, you know, there's always this year. We'll see. Today, I'm going to be doing my first live premium. So when we get to the end of the topics, then questions are basically the way we do coffee time. We get to the end of the hour, then I'm going to, even though the Bills game is starting, I'm going to kick over into the premium. I don't know how long it'll go. I have a topic for it. It's not exactly Colombia, but I'm going to talk about it because I keep running into it, and it's bogus AI stuff on Facebook and YouTube, and how people are reposting a whole bunch of things that they think is real, but it's not. So there's that. Also today, I'm going to do 2 ad reads. Otherwise, I'm going to be behind on one. I got to do 5 a month. I've done 1, and we're almost halfway through the month. So I'm going to do 2. Look like there's a really short one for the NFL. So if that, what the heck? What the heck? Why is somebody calling me? I'm in the middle of the video. Come on, dude. So, where was I? It took up my screen. It popped up as it through the computer, and it just popped up and took over my screen, so I couldn't even see what I was doing here. So, anyway, so today I'm going to go into the premium, be a kind of a test thing. Then next week, I'll actually have some decent content to put in there. So when I click into it, you're not going to be able to see it, but I'll still be going. Let's see. So 2 ads. I get the video comment. For those of you that are living here, let me put this up on the screen. You see a circle that says which is in Bruja digital skills. Which digital skills? If you go to Facebook and you type that name in, this page will come up. And the reason I put it, you see Saturday, Sábado 20 Sábado de Septiembre, they're having a big salsa festival. It's at the convention center. So, and you may need reservations, or at least, for the way I understand it, you may not. All right, let me rephrase. You don't necessarily need reservations. However, it's supposed to be very popular, and of course, there's a limit of how many people can come in. So if you don't have a reservation and there's already too many people, then you're going to get turned away. But it sounds interesting, sounds fun. So there you go. Let's see. Let me get that off the screen. What have I got next? The bus. The bus. This is kind of wild. I'm going to read some comments, just local people commenting on a local news story. Let me switch over. Here we go. So I think you can see that. So let's see if I can start this.
Lleno, señor. Ve a la señora, vaya en la puerta y usted no cierra la puerta, señor. Le estoy grabando para que la vean. Yo no creo que la empresa Tinto esté de acuerdo con que usted está haciendo esto. No, azarar no. El bus tiene un cupo. El bus tiene un cupo y usted está pasando, señor. La verdad. Si ustedes me colaboran ahí un poquitico. Vea, ¿colaboran para dónde, señor? ¿Se imaginan de alguien tenga un virus bien fuerte acá? Acá quedamos todos. Usted no está poniendo cuidado, no, usted no está poniendo cuidado que hay personas mayores, que usted está metiendo a toda esta gente acá como si fuera ganado. Por eso le estoy diciendo. A mí no me empuje, mijo, respete.
Okay, this is a complaint that went into the newspaper, And they're talking about that lady that's hanging out the door, and this is on an Armenia bus. I'll read the complaint, and then I'll read you some of the comments. New cases generating controversy surrounding public transportation in Armenia. This time, a user reported that on the morning of September 10th, a Tinto bus, that's the little Armenia bus, traveling to the Fundadoras area, allegedly allowed overcrowding despite warnings from passengers. In the shared video, a woman is seen practically at the entrance of the bus. Well, she was at the entrance of the bus with the door open, exposing herself to serious risk. Then don't do that. Oh, that's commentary. According to the complaint, several users asked the driver not to pick up more passengers because the bus was already full. But he contemptuously ignored the request and continued stopping the vehicle to pick up more people. The complainants assert that this situation puts the lives of passengers at risk and call on the competent authorities, transportation company to provide greater control and sanctions for such behavior. Now, let me read the comments here. This is your first time riding a bus. Big string of laughing faces. Jimmy says, it's the fault of people who see the bus is full and still get on. And Natalie, the gentleman is right. Step back. The back is empty. This is typical. Ha, 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 ha. Liz, ha, ha, ha. Wherever they come to ride the bus in Medellin, they'll die. Yeah. It's all a matter of perspective, right? And Jose, bad if they pick up and bad if they don't pick up. Magali, you should go by taxi so you don't get a virus. More laughing faces. See, it's kind of a sort of an inside thing because here you have the mask versus not masking people, two different opinions. And so, if you're that much of a prima donna that you're having trouble with the bus, there you go. Before it goes empty, he hasn't seen, it's not, I don't know what he's saying there. I'll do one more here. But if the driver doesn't stop right there, they say they left me stranded. Yeah, I didn't see that much room in the bus. And I don't know why he kept stopping to let people in. But there is an issue here in Armenia that if a bus doesn't stop, they call up and complain about the driver, and the he could lose his job. And so the one guy says that, he's wrong if he stops, he's wrong if he doesn't stop. This guy probably, my guess is he recently had a call complaining about him not stopping, and so this is his response to it. See, we get crazy drama here also. All right. I don't know. Made me smile. Let's see. What else do I got here? All right. We're going to get to the news topics. Let me see if there's an ad read ready. I think that NFL one, yeah, that looks very short. Let's check that out. Here we go. Come on. Hey, football fanatics, are you ready for some prime time NFL action? Tune in to Westwood One for all the gridiron glory you crave, from jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-changing plays. Don't miss a moment of the excitement. Catch every snap, every tackle, and every victory on Westwood One. You can listen to the NFL on NFL app, on the Westwood One Sports app, on WestwoodOneSports.com, via Westwood One station streams, or by asking Alexa to open Westwood One Sports. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One. That was short and sweet. I don't mind that one. And it looks like it pays good, too. So, Tommy, do bus drivers make a percentage of the bus? No, they just get, in Ecuador, except for one bus line, Flota Imbabura, all the bus lines, they get paid based on how quick and how many passengers. And so they'll pack in like sardines and drive 1,000,000 miles an hour. And that's why they have at least once a month, a bus will go off a cliff and kill everybody. And that's not an exaggeration. I mean, it's that frequent. It's crazy. In Colombia, when I came here, I was curious because the drivers here drive very different. So one day I was on the bus from Ipiales, near the border of Ecuador, on the way to Cali. And we stopped for lunch. And so I took the time to find the driver and interrupt him. He was grabbing his lunch. And I wanted to know about, do they get paid on the passengers, or do they just get a salary? He says, "Oh, in Colombia, we get a salary. We get paid. We just get paid for the job," which is why they don't. I mean, occasionally you'll get some guy who's just driving like a lunatic because that's how he is. Ultimately, he'll probably get reported and learn his lesson. But generally, the buses here are pretty normal and relatively comfortable. It's why I don't mind. When I would travel around, like when I went to Bucaramanga and back, that's a long trip. I never minded at all. And when I was living in Cuenca and coming here to Armenia, it was a nightmare riding the buses to Colombia. But once I would get to Colombia at the terminal in Ipiales, then it was like kick back, relax, sleep, because they're like sleeper buses. The seats go almost lay flat. They angle about like that. So it's pretty different. But that would be the first thing I would wonder also. Okay, let's get to some news. Where is my list here? All right. First one, this is not in Armenia. It's in Colombia. As a matter of fact, let me show you the map. It's in a place called Calimar, which is near Cartagena. This, I don't know, made me smile. This guy has a nickname of Nike. Check out his eyebrows. And it was that distinguishing feature that got him caught. It turns out he was he's in the Gulf Clan, which is basically an offshoot of a Mexican cartel here in Colombia, narco criminals. And he joined not that long ago, but he's been accelerating through the ranks because I guess he's kind of ruthless. He'll do whatever. I don't know. He's been getting unusually fast promotions. And they were able to catch him because of his eyebrows. And so they rounded him up, and he's going to be, is it him? I think he's going to be deported. Half of the time, the cartel members, if they're of any rank, the U.S. will put in a deportation request. And Colombia is happy to do it because then all the expenses go to the U.S., and then the U.S. will lock them up for 20 years or whatever. All right, so we got him out of the way. This is in Bogota. Just this week, they delivered the new rail cars. You can see it here. They call it Tranvia, maybe. It's the first metro train and 6 cars, and it's on the tracks. And I don't know if they've run yet. It was due like any day. They're going to run some tests. And unlike the one in Cuenca, this one has a capacity for 1,800 passengers instead of the 60 or whatever it is in Cuenca. This one will probably get used a lot. it's been a long time coming. Typically, cost overruns, all of that. Okay, what else is new? Let's a little closer to home. The hospital we've been talking about finally opened up this past Wednesday, the 10th, following the inauguration and delivery of the clinic last June. Oh, the inauguration of the. Okay, you got the big rectangular one that was last June, but then the big circular one, which has a lot of features to it, that was this past Wednesday. It's a state-of-the-art building, has the most advanced technology, specialized outpatient medical care. One thing that's interesting about this is it's got on the 11th and 12th floor, they're hotel rooms with medical care available. So in other words, if you have an operation, you don't want to go to the post-op room or share a room or whatever, you can rent one of these rooms and you'll still have the nurse come around and check on you and they'll do all those things. But I haven't seen them yet, but the description is they're like a 4-star luxury hotel. So that's pretty cool. They've also got a restaurant there and a cafe. It sounds pretty cool. So you got a hotel, you got a restaurant, you got a cafe, but you also have a really well-stocked medical facility. Here's a picture. You see the rectangular one to the right, and then you got the big round one. And the views must be pretty good from there, right? And what is this? Oh, information. I just pretty much explained it, so I don't need to show that. All right. This next one here is for Juka in Medellin. This is on a Medellin Facebook page. Hi there. I run a place in Medellin close to Ciudad del Rio where you can experience a true Finnish sauna experience from my home country. I also sell saunas, and there are already a few communities in Medellin who rent the space regularly for their events. For example, whatever. I am now ready to accept visitors every day. So he set himself up a sauna. You can go and visit and check it out. And it's supposed to be authentic, and it's called Nordica. Why do I care? It's in Medellin. I don't know. I saw this. I thought of Juka. So I figured I'd put it up here. Maybe when he visits, he'll want to check it out. Although, he's lived his life with it. Maybe he's interested in something else. Because, we've got these amazing hot springs here, like all over the place. Okay, what's next? Is that it? Yes. Salento. From now until the 21st, so for the next week, actually went 3 days prior to today, but until the 21st, Salento has its annual trout festival. And what made the headlines was nothing else about it except this. 35 restaurants in Salento are offering trout dishes for only 28,000 pesos. Granted, that's a pretty good discount for the way prices are these days, but it's all they had to say about it. And that kind of threw me a little bit, but there you go. If you live here, you might want to hit up the Trout Festival. Okay, this is what do we have here, Yuka? Let's hope soon there will be more saunas in Colombia than cars. Yeah, well, I think we already have 10 cars for every person, it seems. I know that's not true, but it just seems like it. Traffic. Twice this past week, I had to go to Pereira. Actually, I had to go the other side of Pereira. And the traffic was insane. It was just bumper to bumper. It was horrible. Thank God I live in Armenia and don't have to go through. But the problem was I had to go. I had to go in the afternoon around the 2 o'clock mark, which is about the worst time. Okay, next. This is kind of people are up in arms over this, and I'm thinking it's not that big a deal. Senior citizens are allegedly being used to jump in priority lines and pay other people's EPA bills, utility bills. So if you're a senior, and here I think it's 60 years and over, you have a special line. So you don't have to wait. There'll be big, long lines some days, and you can just bypass. I've used it, I think, twice. Usually I just wait in line. They're not that terrible, but twice I wasn't feeling very good and the line was ridiculous. So I just went right up. In one case, I was the first one, just took me right in. And the second case, I was the second. There was one person ahead of me. So what they're doing, apparently, is somebody's coming in with their utility bill and the line's real long. They don't want to wait. So they grab a senior and they pay him something. I don't know what, maybe 10,000 pesos. I have no idea. But they pay him something and he'll go up and use his privilege to pay that bill. Well, there's no rules against it. And, if he's picking up breakfast money or whatever, I don't see what the big deal is. But this article went on and on about how it's cheating the system and how unfair it is. And so there you go. Why am I telling you? One, I thought it was kind of a dumb thing so to be upset about. But yeah, they have a point, I guess. I just don't think it's much of one. But also to let you know that if you are here and if you are 60 and over, that you have this everywhere. Transito, you may not know it because sometimes it's not very well marked, but you keep an eye out for it. When I go to the bank, you check in on a machine you just say why you're there and your basic your ID card number and what you're doing there. And there's a button that are you crippled or are you a senior, or there's like 3 things you can pick, and it'll print off a slip and it puts you in a different category where you might have to wait, but you're not going to wait more than a few people. So it's all over the place. They have this. Libby. Wow, I would go. I like trout and I like Salento. Newsflash, Colombiana Miss Linares won bronze medal in Tokyo a few hours ago. Very nice. Long jump, if that's important. Well, not to me, but, it's nice to know. So she's Colombiana Miss Linares. Oh, she's not Miss Colombia. I don't know who she is. I don't follow this stuff. And I especially don't follow football. Anyway, in government offices, people pay others to get appointments for them because of the long lines. Yeah, I actually was told that. I forget what office. Oh, it was the water department years ago. Something got messed up and they were either going to or did turn my water off. I don't remember which. And I had to go right to the water department office, which is not like the electric, which is like a public utility and it's their own company. The water department is like quasi-private public, and there's government employees in there. Or at least there was when I went. And I went, and for whatever reason, I was going to have to return, which meant I was going to have to wait on this big long line again. And she told me, well, you could pay somebody and they'll do that for you. Oh, really? But, I can get by with my Spanish sort of now, but back then I could barely get by with it. And so it wasn't worth the hassle trying to find out who it was. What the hell? I'm retired. I'll wait in line. All right. Trout Festive Senior. Okay, that's it. So how are we doing? I'll point out again, if you weren't here at the beginning, if you looked at the comments up at the top, there's a pinned message, and it's a web address. And with that, if you click on that, it'll go to a page. If you have a desktop computer or a laptop, you can send me up to 1 minute of a video message, a comment, a question, maybe an idea. And if it's even remotely interesting, then next week's coffee time, I can post them up there. Hopefully I get a couple, and like to at least give it a shot. So if you're feeling adventurous, please do that. All right. We're coming up on our topic time. Looks like we're right on time. So let me do the other ad read. Question, do I do the NFL one again, or do I do the Rumble Premium? Let's see. Will it let me? Oh, I can't do another one for 3.5 minutes. Well, the topic's got to go, but when I'm done with the topic, I guess I can do it then. Let me check the chats. All right, covered everything. And, you know what I forgot when I was doing my news?
Here comes the latest from Quindio, with rhythm and flavor, up-to-date news. It's starting now.
But I can do it for the topic.
Guess what's hot and happening now? Straight from the source, we'll show you how. Brew it more, let's break it down. The main topic starts right now. Ow.
Okay, so the beauty of living here in Colombia isn't just in the mountains or the coffee. It's in the little things people say and the way life feels different here. Today, I'm going to talk about 2 things you won't find in a travel brochure, or at least none that I've ever seen. The sayings that Colombians throw around that make no sense in English, and why Sundays here feel like a different planet compared to back home. When I say different planet, I just mean a really nice, relaxing, comfortable planet. So if you don't have your coffee, get it. You definitely want to get some Coffee Time exotic coffee. It's delicious. That's almost an ad read, right? All right. So Colombians love colorful expressions. They don't just say someone's confused. No, they'll drop an entire foggy scene with a random Turk in it. Let me show you what I mean. Now, you're going to laugh at my pronunciation, and I don't blame you. But I do my best. These are words that some of the words I don't necessarily say very much. Más perdido que turco en la neblina. Literal translation, more lost than a Turk in the fog. Now, in context, it makes sense. Out of context, you'll scratch your head, unless your Spanish is perfect and you got some background with people saying, this is a saying that is used for an expression meaning basically clueless. You're clueless, you have no idea what's going on. I mean, it's sort of like someone trying to figure out the Colombian bus routes for the first time. You mentioned the government offices, that you could kind of feel like that. You go in for a simple form, and 3 hours later, you don't know who you are anymore. So there's that one. Okay, this one. I have trouble with. Se le subieron los humos. The smoke went to his head, which means cocky, arrogant, full of himself. Kind of like a guy buys a new motorcycle and suddenly he's Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious running down Armenia's highways. The way Colombians say it, you can almost picture the smoke inflating their head like a balloon because they have inflection with this. So first time you hear it, if you recognize it, you get this theatrical exaggeration. Okay, estar como aquí para chocolate, like water ready for chocolate. This one kind of, I struggled with this one. And I'm going to ask you, if you know any yourself, please send them to me. These, I had trouble coming up with them because I don't really remember these. So I did a Google search, and so I grabbed the ones that I recognized. But there's more, and I didn't really know the context or whatever, so I kind of let them slide. But if you know any, please send them. Especially some of them are like two meanings, double entendre. I'll cover it in a minute, but like no dar papaya, you know it as, don't be taken as a fool, but there's another version of that. So anyway, like water ready for chocolate. It's basically, it's somebody that's about ready to boil over with anger. I mean, absolutely furious. I mean, when I first heard it, when you hear chocolate, you tend to think maybe it was something romantic or like that. But no, I mean, it turns out that what I was hearing was somebody was just furious. I mean, it's sort of like picture the woman behind you in line when you cut in front and she's ready to beat you with her handbag. That's agua para chocolate. Okay, next one here. El que madruga, Dios la ayuda. He who gets up early, God helps him. So it's kind of like early bird gets the worm, except there's a blessing attached to it. I mean, here in Colombia, waking up at 5 a.m. to work is seen as virtuous. You earn not just productivity, but divine points. In the U.S., the only one helping you at 5 a.m. is Starbucks. All right. I may not be a comedy writer, but I tried. Más viejo que Methuselah, older than Methuselah. That one we know. I was just surprised to hear it here. Obviously, it's like ancient, falling apart, belongs in a museum. Colombians will use it in a joking way, like maybe to pick on their uncle, or maybe their uncle's car, or the refrigerator that's still hanging in there from the 70s, things like that. In other words, it's good-natured mocking. It's also used for young girls with an old guy like me as a tease. Okay, so I mentioned the no dar papaya. Don't give papaya. It means don't make yourself an easy target. Don't tempt fate. Don't give papaya. I mean, we probably all know this. I mean, you don't walk around with waving your iPhone and, somebody is going to tell you, put it away. People look out for you like that. But also, papaya is slang for something female anatomy. So if you say it and people laugh, you're going to know why. They're really good at the double entendre here. Sorry, taking a look at the chat. All right, tiene más cola que el diablo. He has more tail than the devil. So that means too many scandals, too much shady baggage. However, it's also used when people joke around that a person maybe has been around a bit. So if somebody says you have more tail than a devil, you know, maybe you got to go to confession. I don't know. It's got its two meanings. De papayita, very easy. So these things, the more your ear gets in tune with Spanish, and I'm only a quarter in tune, so I'm missing a ton of stuff. But the more you start picking up on these things, and it's baffling because they'll be saying something that it's just not registering. It doesn't get you. What was the one that got me for? I probably went a year or two. What is it? Adios. Oh, I can't think of it. Drove me crazy. Well, I'll think of it and tell you in the next coffee time, or maybe later. I've just got a little block. Okay. So, talk a little bit about Sunday. Sundays in Colombia, like I said, there was nothing like this in Ecuador, in other places I've been. Sundays are a sacred day, even if you're not the least bit religious. Sunday is a family day, but it means errands, laundry, clean binging, Netflix binging. It's most people here work 6 days a week, and Sunday is the day off. So Sunday is a day that you get together with friends and family. So in the morning, traditionally, less so today, but the church bells, depending on where you're living, you'll hear church bells. The plazas, the big central parks, they'll start filling up with people. Families tend to dress up. People in general tend to take time to look their best and go out, whether they're in church or out just walking around. Vendors will set out fresh arepas, buñuelos. I mean, they put extra care in. During the week, maybe that's an arepa that was made the night before. You got to be careful of that, by the way. But on Sunday, it's pretty sure to be fresh. It's slower, it's calmer. Now, a busy market, of course, that's different. But in general, people will be out strolling, not just walking, but just kind of strolling along. In the afternoon, this is huge, family lunch. It's kind of like it's the big meal of the day. And mom and dad and kids and aunts and uncles and cousins and neighbors and friends, they'll come in, and usually the women of the family will get together and cook together. The big pots of sancocho, or maybe even make up something like bandeja paisa, although usually bits and pieces of it, not necessarily the full platter. One that I went to some years ago, and it's when I learned how to make empanadas. There were 4 or 5 aunts, and there was mother and an aunt and different people at abuela, and they were making these empanadas. So I kind of watched and couldn't help because it was crowded and I was just getting in the way. But I learned how to make empanadas. So it took them several hours to make these empanadas. And then in the afternoon, people drank a beer and munched on empanadas along with some other things, some cheese or whatever. It was pretty cool. And it's kind of like parts of it because I've been with some families that do this. It reminds me in a way of Thanksgiving, except it's every Sunday, because one of the things that you'll see is they'll pig out, eat their fill, and then we'll come on soccer, football. And so, grab a beer, sit down, watch the game. Sounds like Thanksgiving, right? So in the evening, the plazas wake up again, because they've had the family meals. Kids are out with kites or running around with ice cream. Couples will be strolling along and holding hands. And if there's a game on, you'll hear it everywhere. Every little pub or bar that you walk by or restaurant, you're going to hear it. I mean, it's huge. It takes over the city. And then Turtle told me about this. As a matter of fact, it was the first time I'd heard of it. And I lived here before, but I don't think they had it before. The ciclovia. It's when they'll take a main road here at the Centenario and they shut the road down for most of Sunday. And people will be out walking. They'll be walking their dogs. They'll be riding bicycles. You'll see old people with walkers. And I'm not mocking it because I'm staring it in the face. So, you'll see that. You'll see at some point there'll be exercise classes in this. It can be a section of road that's 2 miles, 3 miles long. They're just shut down for cars. In Manizales, 23 shut down the entire 4-lane with a median in the middle, shut down the entire thing. Here in Centenario, they'll shut down the west side of the road, the 2 lanes, and on the other side of the median, the other 2 lanes, they tend to keep open, or at least for a good portion of it. So you can still get through, but depending on where you are. But most cities will have this type of thing going on somewhere. I don't understand completely why, because we've got all the plazas and things like that. But I guess bicycling is a big thing here. I remember somebody asked me a long time ago about, is it okay to bring a bicycle? It's like my routine. They're really into it. As a matter of fact, today there's some roads that are shut off because they have all these amateur, you call them races, but it's not like people are necessarily pedaling their tail off. It's more, think of the New York City Marathon, where people go out just to do it and be with other people. And if it takes them 2 hours longer than everybody else, it's no big deal. It's kind of that vibe. And then, just when you think it's quiet, someone cranks up the Vaginato. So at midnight, Sundays have rhythm. It just, depending on where you live, of course. For me, I'm at the edge of town, but there is across the street and across the field and down a hill, there's a small barrio. And guaranteed Saturday night, Sunday night, I'm going to hear that kind of basically dance music. Surprisingly, not that much salsa, but much of the city, it can be pretty loud. And it's one of those things, if your neighbor's having a party, or if you're having a party and your neighbor doesn't like it, invite the neighbor, and then everything's cool. If you're hearing that music, unless you're dead tired and have to sleep, sometimes you might want to get involved, because the thing is, they will welcome you with open arms. So that's typically what goes on Sundays here. I mean, that's what I just described, if you live here, you recognize, if not all of it, almost all of it. So that's it today. Those are 2 topics. I question whether they'd be useful or interesting. I don't know. I wasn't sure what to do. I've been kind of preoccupied. I do have my appointment tomorrow to hopefully find out if this ticker is going to expire any day now, or if they've got an answer for it. And so honestly, I was a little preoccupied, but a Bluetooth jammer will do it. Yeah. But that wouldn't be very nice, right? All right, let me see if I can do an ad read. Will it let me do the NFL? No. That was it. I liked it. It was short. All right, I'm going to do the Rumble Premium again. Here we go. Come on. You can do it. Or can you? It's not accepting my click. I have a mouse that sometimes I push the button, nothing happens. Here we go. You've probably noticed Rumble is growing fast and it's not slowing down. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. And now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform. No pre-rolls, no interruptions, just the content you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scene drops, and more from your favorite creators. Right now, Rumble is offering $10 off an annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO at checkout. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. No ads, more freedom, and content you actually care about. That's the deal. And complete. There we go. Two today. So that should put me on track. Thank you guys for bearing with me on that. It's paying off. I mean, tomorrow, I believe I get my first check from Rumble, so that's pretty awesome. All right. Before I leave you guys and go off into a premium test, my first one live, if you have any questions, comments, I'm here right now. Feel free to use the chat. I found out that the chat, I had a question a couple weeks ago about what do they mean? Is it, on the chat, there's more chats than that. Well, every time a person does a chat, it'll register as that person. And then if they put another chat in, it ignores it because you've already put a chat in. That's for the month. So if you, like Yuka said something this morning, next week it's already counted. So I get 1 point for that. Through the course of the month, they want to have 20 or more. So that means 20 different people throughout the month posted up a unique chat. If you post up 12 chats, it still counts as one. So that's what that meant. But I get credit for it. As a matter of fact, I have to have 20 or more. We're probably already about 15, and I got the rest of the month to go because people aren't really that shy. I have no sound. Is it just me? No, let's see. I'm putting out sound. Let me play something here.
Guess what's hot and happening now?
No. This says everything's there. Just you. Yep, thought so. Okay. Last call for any comments before I switch over to premium. Sound is good. Awesome. What I'm going to talk about is, as I mentioned, some of these AI things. I'm going to talk about some examples of it. It's a whole broad spectrum. That's why I say it's not really about Colombia, but I think I've only got maybe a couple people that have gotten the premium thing that have subscribed, and so they'll see it. But I'm going to talk about it because at some point other people will see it. And I think it's important because if you're not aware how to pick up on it's an AI, a lot of people are falling for this. Whether it's a Tesla phone or Starlink selling subscriptions to something or hydrogen car. There's a whole range of things. So anyway, we're not going to talk about that now. All right. I don't see any more chat, so I'm going to end it with, before I click over, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Marv Levy. Which, by the way, AI posted up a thing, said he was dead, and I announced it here because it seemed so legitimate. It looked like it was from an official category. He's not dead. He's still alive. August 3rd was his 100th birthday, and he's still alive. And I feel horrible that I felt horrible because the guy is awesome. He wrote, it's one of the best books I ever read from just a person writing a nonfiction book. And his was all about his life, and much of it was with the Buffalo Bills. And it was so clever, so witty, very funny. The guy's an awesome writer, and it was, I think it was Where Would You Rather Be, was the name of the book. If you ever get a chance to read that book, go ahead. Bill's game is starting in a few minutes. I'll be doing the premium, but I'll pick up on it at some point, and I will see you guys next week. So, this is where I leave you, and I will continue in premium. Ciao. Okay. Yeah, there we go. It's working. I feel terrible leaving people behind. I think it's working. If you're still in the chat and you're hearing me, other than B Nick, I think you can still hear me. But anybody else, put it up there. It's supposed to be just subscribers. Okay, so it's weird doing this when I know nobody's really there. One, I probably could have done this in the last one, but we're running out of time. Where is it? The German house. Where is it? Oh, I got, here I am fumbling around. Facebook, share. Okay. Now, if you've ever been to Armenia or if you live here, you know about this place out of town. Sorry about that on the side there. Let me see if I can get rid of it. Nope. I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't use Facebook that much. Okay, so out of town is a place that's all burned down, and I've talked about it in the past. I've shown some pictures of it, and this was Pablo Escobar's partner. Literally, they were equals. He's the one This guy, he's the one that Posada. He's the one that created the island with the airstrip and the warehouses, and the reason they were able to move so much stuff. However, before it got to the point where Pablo is going to get killed and all that, he had actually left and he put his money into other ventures. And one was here in Armenia was this German house. And this was the main house, but there were something like 30 other buildings on this property, places to stay. And this was a restaurant party house. And in its heyday, people from all over the world, he would have a party, there'd be 3,000 celebrities, politicians from all around the world that would come and party. And this is I think this is reconstructed, or at least some of these are. They're partially real. It's legit, but they're somewhat stylized. These are definitely legit. These are just burned out husk right now. The roof all burned through. But these are rooms to stay in. Here's the other side of the German house. You see the difference of the roof here. This was the plan eventually to grow that type of roof, but it was like that in reality. And you'll see here, you go up these steps, you'll see here the statue with the guitar. That was actually a stylized version of John Lennon. The guy was a huge John Lennon fan. Here we go. It's the statue again. That statue was stolen many years ago. Don't know. As far as I can tell, nobody knows where it is. And you'll see that glass dome in the back. He kept some exotic birds in there. So you kind of walk around there, it's like a little animal park. It's just, pleasant place to be instead of the burned out husk that it is now. More John Lennon. Doesn't look like John Lennon to me, but he paid a small fortune for it. Here's another view of the party house. This, I don't know if this actually existed or not. I think it's a bit stylized. Here's more of it. This is stylized, but there is a photo somewhat like this. So blurry, you can't make anything out. So it's like almost redone. But there is a photo that is like this. It's just you couldn't recognize anybody in it. This is legit. That's it. So thought I'd throw that up there. And let's see what else we got. All right, we're going to get to the AI. So let me exit out of that thing. It says somebody's here watching. Is it B Nick? Is it you? Are you here? Somebody's keeping me company. All right, we got this statement here. Recent social media posts have created false reports about Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen commenting on the September 2025 assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. About the false claims, numerous social media posts and fake news sites have claimed that Allen called for a moment of silence for Kirk. Oh, let me hold on. Let me where get that off the screen. All right. Pledge financial support for his children. or made emotional statements after his death. The pledge for his children, I've seen a number of these, and one was like $1 million. The bills stand. The team has not issued a statement on this matter, and these online stories have been widely debunked as fake news in a form of baiting, possibly from AI bots. And here's another one. Jalen Hurts, Travis Kelce, Nick Bosa, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Malik Neighbors, Jordan Love, and other NFL stars each donate $300,000 to the Charlie Kirk family. No, it's not true. Let me show you. Let's see. Yeah, let me leave this one. Here's one example. This is a Facebook post. Breaking: Hallmark Stadium was choked up as Buffalo Bills star Josh Allen broke down in tears during a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk. The game hasn't even played yet since that. So you know it's bogus right off the start, because the last game, Charlie Kirk was still alive. Trembling voice. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's basically saying the same thing. There's moment of silence, thunderous applause. It's like, so what do they get out of this? Well, I'll talk about it. Got another one here. It's not just the Bills. Here we've got breaking news. In an unprecedented move, Kansas City Chiefs owner Clark Hunt announced that he would be handing out 60,000 free red scarves to the entire crowd at Arrowhead Stadium, and would also be playing Charlie Kirk's famous words and images for up to 15 minutes before the game. Not true. There are no scarves getting handed out. This is completely bogus. It's Chiefs Nation Unite is the account. Number of them from Buffalo Bills, and Buffalo Bills Mafia, things that you would think are legit. Some even say official something or other, but you're seeing it with the Eagles. You see anything that's currently popular, which is why they picked Charlie Kirk. Anything that's popular. So you put Josh Allen along with the Charlie Kirk thing, then it's perfect for this type of kind of say scam. The number one for getting clicks is actually Elon Musk. Let me tell you about some of those things. One, you'll see constantly about the new Tesla phone. Tesla phone's going to blow Apple out of the water. It'll show pictures of a Tesla phone. From one to the next, it'll be a different phone. It'll be a different design. But I've been seeing these for probably 6 months now about the new Tesla phone. Starlink, subscribe. Now, to get a Starlink subscription, you have to pay a certain amount of money up front, and then you got a monthly fee of somewhere around $50. I don't know exactly what it is, something in that ballpark. But there's something out there that says Starlink right on it. It's got the logo, and it says that a one-time offer, lifetime, one pay $19.95. You pay $19.95 for the rest of your life. You get Starlink for free. After that, you don't pay again. Completely bogus. I had AI look that one up for me because I knew though that can't be true. So I asked AI about it, and it said that basically it's a scam, and it's not Starlink company. I forget the name of the company. It's a different company. So that was pretty cool. Model 2. There's constant promotions, advertisements for the new Model 2 Tesla. And every time they show a picture of it, the design's a little bit different. Now, what are they selling there? Well, they're not selling anything. But if they know what people will click on. Elon Musk is one of the most click-worthy faces on the planet. Love him or hate him, doesn't matter. People will click on it. And if you're trying to get money out of Facebook for the sheer volume of people that are going to click on it and share information because people think it's real. And so you'll get one of these things, and within a week, it'll have 20 million views and it'll have 300,000 shares. It's generating money. There's one about hydrogen cars. How Toyota is going to put the EV out of business with hydrogen cars, and be an article. And that thing is shared like crazy. That's been around a while also. See, I think that's all I have for examples. I could go on forever. They have tracked down some of these, and so far, most of them are coming out of Vietnam. They're basically these, we'll say AI farm. They're basically a bunch of people that are sitting behind a computer using AI to generate advertisements, and posting them up, putting them up on Facebook. There's also some YouTube ads. What's the I can't remember the YouTube one. It's been out for a while, and it'll be on, it must be 20, 30 different YouTube accounts. And all it is are the fake things. I think the Tesla one is one of them. The comet, it's not a comet, it's UFO. Who knows what it is? What is it? A3, or I forget what it's called. There's a whole bunch of them there because people are clicking on that like crazy. So some, like the Starlink one, they're trying to sell you something, and then after they gather up a whole bunch of money, they'll vanish, and people will go after Starlink and find out that it had nothing to do with them. The Nigerian prince kind of thing. So you have those, but then you have the others that are just bogus information, like Marv Levy died, just because they know that will get a lot of clicks. So it's not, they don't just focus on one thing. It's a huge thing. So if you're upstate New York, it's the Buffalo Bills. Everybody's going to click on that. If you're in Kansas City or anywhere around it, it's the Chiefs. And it's like that all across the country, be it football or be it a automobile information or a comment or Musk or pro-Trump or anti-Trump, or they don't care as long as they get people to click. But it can be frustrating because the information is just flat out bogus. All right, so I know somebody's watching. I can see it, but nobody's saying anything, and I'm running out of steam. So this is my first try for this. I did 2 ads. I could do a third one now, maybe. No, I don't have enough people. You have to have a minimum like 40 people or something. All right, so I'm gonna end it here. I'll be curious to see how this thing, if it worked. And so whoever's there, thank you for being there. Next time, speak up. And I'll see you at the next coffee time. Ciao.